It's Saturday, December 3rd, and I am making some potato soup. It's a cold, rainy day, so this will be perfect. So right now I have some bacon ends that I cut up and I'm browning, and then I'm going to cook some onion, celery, and garlic until it's soft, and then I'll show you how it's going in a little while. So I have onions, celery, garlic, and now I'm adding in the potatoes, and I'm just sauteing it in the bacon fat. I removed the bacon to add back in later so they can stay crispy. So I had the leftover puff pastry from the chicken pie the other night, and I had some blueberries in my freezer and the end of a thing of homemade jam, some berry jam. And I just kind of quick, without a recipe, made some little popovers. Then I have a very tiny bit of Cool Whip left over from Thanksgiving. So that will be dessert tonight. And it used up some things that had been hanging around and made more room in the fridge and freezer. I'm working on Dish Mountain as usual. I will show you my progress in a little while. This morning I'm making this Weight Watchers cinnamon apple baked oatmeal that a coworker gave to me. It's really budget friendly and uses a lot of the ingredients that I already have on hand. I am making sure that I use gluten-free oats in this recipe, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. So in my bowl I have my oats, my baking powder, my brown sugar, cinnamon, and salt. I'm using 3 really sad apples, and it says to shred them, but that just seems like a lot of work right now, so I'm just cutting them really small. So I'm going to cut up these apples really small and get my wet ingredients ready. All my apples are chopped up. I'm looking at the recipe and it said use skim milk. I don't have that. I use 2%, so that's what I'll use. And it says pecans chopped, and I think I'm going to use walnuts because that's what I have. And I'm not going to put the fresh blueberries, strawberries, or raspberries on top. I might just put a little bit of maple syrup or milk. I'm going to spray the pan with this macadamia spray. Still need to clean my kitchen, but at least we're getting breakfast made. Reasons to do a pantry challenge. I found pecan halves in my cabinet and they're still good, so we're going to use these on, and it says just to sprinkle them on top, and then I'm going to bake this. This is going to bake at 375 for 25 to 30 minutes or until it's set, and then I'll have my breakfast. Getting a little bit better. Another thing that I've gotten done today is several loads of laundry and folding them, and I have gotten a little bit of editing done, so I'll just keep plugging along. Today is Sunday, and it's back to work tomorrow. I have a few appointments this week as well, so anything I can do today will make my week go smoother. I already cut into it, but here's the apple cinnamon baked oatmeal with pecans, fresh out of the oven. And I'm not going to wait for it to cool at all because I'm really hungry, but here it is. And I might put a little bit of maple syrup and milk on top. I don't know if you can tell it's getting better, but it definitely is. I've put away like 2 loads of dishes today, and the stuff on the stove and counter are being moved into the sink. I'm going to start wiping things down in a little bit, start thinking about cooking a few meals to make my week easier, and we'll see how it goes. There's also the turtle water conditioner there. I do need to refill some water in his tank. One of the things I'm meal prepping this weekend is this spaghetti. It's a gluten-free spaghetti that I got for $3.50 at like Home Goods or Marshall's or something. I really like these when you can find them. They are like a nicer pasta. 2 zucchinis that I got for 68 cents. And then I have some hot Italian sausage that I boiled. And I'm going to see what else I can pull together and get like a sausage pasta dish going. And then the other thing I'm going to try to make is some lemon chicken. We'll see what else I can get done. Whatever I can get done are things we can eat on this week, and it's less for me to do. Because we won't really have a lot of time for cooking this week. So I use some of this pasta sauce and some heavy whipping cream, and I'm going to add some Parmesan, and that'll be my sauce. All right, here it is. It is the gluten-free pasta with the zucchini and hot Italian sausage, the garlic sauce, and was it garlic and basil pasta sauce, and the cream and some Parmesan and salt and pepper, and it's really good. And it made a ton too, so we can have this for lunches as well. I thought I was going to make the lemon chicken tonight, but I'm actually not feeling like messing up my kitchen anymore. And tomorrow I looked at my schedule and I will be home pretty early, so I think I'll make the lemon chicken tomorrow and I'll show you then. It's Monday night. I'm still working on dishes and I'm going to start cooking some dinner. Some broccoli steaming. Some green plantains that I got on clearance, and I'm going to try to make some tostones. So these cook on both sides and then I smash them, like push them down with a cup or something, and then fry them again. So I have my plantains and I have this cup. I push down, oop, there's broccoli on my hand. Push down and it smushes it, and then I fry it again. The lemon chicken is cooking. Broccoli is done. Tostones are done. I'll show you when it's all finished. Alright, my lemony chicken is done. It didn't get as brown as I would like, but it is fully cooked. And I tasted it and it tastes really good. I used this BFF Kitchen Sunshine Girl. It came with a lemon chicken recipe. And it's a lemony seasoning. It's my first time using it and it's really good. And then I'm going to have this with broccoli and my tostones. It is Tuesday, December 6th. Tonight's Use It Up Pantry dinner is butternut squash that I cut up. It had a bad spot on it and needed to be used. Tater tots from Trader Joe's. Those were in the freezer. And in here, I have a pork roast from Walden. And I cooked it in my Instant Pot, and I'm going to shred it up. And I'm still trying to use up this harissa barbecue sauce. So I'll put that harissa barbecue sauce on it, and I'm sure it will be delicious. All right, here's my Use It Up dinner. Here's my roasted butternut squash, my tater tots, and my barbecue pulled pork using up that barbecue sauce. And I put some jalapeno peppers on top. I really like pickled jalapeno peppers. All right, so it is Wednesday, December, looking at the calendar, it's the 7th, and I got home from work. I have yoga in a little while. I was hoping we'd have leftovers tonight, but if we eat the leftovers that are in the fridge right now, we won't have anything to take for lunch tomorrow, so I do need to cook. So in an effort to keep using things up, this was not on my menu plan. Honestly, my menu plan, if you saw at the end of my grocery haul that I just posted, it was pretty open-ended. I just wrote protein and sides for some of the things because I have a lot of things to use up around here. So I'm going to turn you around and show you what I'm using to make, I don't know, some people say like a taco lasagna or a Mexican lasagna or a taco casserole. So it's going to be something like that. I'll show you what I have, and I'm going to start prepping it, but then I will finish it up when I get back from yoga. Here's what I have. So I am going to make the rice before I go to yoga, so I'll get that going. And I'm going to brown up the meat before I go. But when I get back, I will, well, I'm hoping I can assemble it before I go. When I get back, I'll throw it in the oven. And then it'll be ready. So let me show you everything. I'm kind of going out of order here. All right, so I have these bags of chips. When we have crumbs at the bottom of bags of tortilla chips, we don't throw them away. We use them for this dish. So I will use these kind of like my noodle layer of my casserole. I have some of this roasted corn from Trader Joe's. I probably won't use this entire thing, but I will use some of it. I have a pound of grass-fed beef. I have some sour cream. This was in my grocery haul. This was the sour cream that I got for 60-something cents a container. So I'll use this for my creamy layer. I have some frozen peppers that I have cut up. So I'll use not all of those, but some of them in my ground beef. I have an onion. This Mateo's salsa. I keep a lot of this on hand, so I have a few jars on my shelf. I just pulled this one, and that will be my tomatoey layer. I have a lime I'm just going to squeeze into my meat just to use up. This is a can of home canned black beans that I did back in March. I will add that in for some extra protein. I have the end of this little thing of salsa verde that is just past its expiration date. So we're going to get that used up. Instead of taco seasoning, I'm probably going to use this fajita seasoning and doctor it up with some extra seasoning, maybe a little extra chili powder. I'm not a huge fan of this fajita seasoning. It's okay. But I just want to use it up, and a casserole like this will help to kind of use it up, and the flavor won't be as pronounced because it's not just on meat, it's in a mixture of things, so we're going to use that up. So I'm going to start getting things prepped, and I will show you, I don't know how much of this process I'm going to show you, but I'll try to show you some clips along the way. My phone is low battery now, so I need to plug it in. So I have half a cup of rice going and some onions in my ground beef. Once this browns up a little, I'll add in my peppers and probably the black beans and definitely the fajita seasoning. I also don't know if I said this earlier, but I have this garlic from my garden and I might add that in, but I'm feeling kind of lazy and I might just add in some garlic powder. I also found this jar that has some chopped up cilantro in it. It was in my freezer. A little bit of ice buildup on it. Want to get it used up, so we'll put cilantro in this recipe. Okay, I have to leave in like 7 minutes, but I'm going to quickly try to assemble this. I'm just letting the beans finish heating through. So here's my meat and bean mixture. There's some rice and corn. I have my casserole dish here, my Pyrex pan, and then I have some types of salsa and some sour cream. And we're just going to layer everything together, and I forgot to say I do have some cheese I'm going to top everything with. So I put a layer of the salsa on the bottom. Then I'm just going to layer everything lasagna style, like a layer of rice and corn, a layer of meat, a layer of chips and salsa, a layer of sour cream, and just keep going and then top the top with cheese. Here it is, all done with all the layers in there. I just need to top it with cheese and bake it when I get back. I don't have time to shred up my cheese now, but I do have some mozzarella and some cheddar I'll mix together and put on top, and then we'll bake it probably at, I don't know, 400, 425 until it's bubbly and it'll be ready. This, I don't have a recipe for this. It is completely just a use it up, use whatever you have on hand recipe. The other thing is that salsa verde, I opened it up and it was no good. So I like to not waste things, but sometimes things just go bad, so that is now gone. I did not use it in the recipe. I'm just going to wash out that container and recycle it. All right, it's bubbly and the cheese is brown, and I'm going to be eating dinner way too late. It's 8:18 at night, but it's made, and it'll also make great leftovers for the next few days. So that's my taco lasagna.